You open your phone for 30 seconds. One friend is engaged. Another just got promoted. Someone else is holding the keys to a new home. Then you put the phone down and look at your dinner. Same plate, same room. Same Tuesday you were having half a minute ago. Nothing in your life changed. But somehow, your life now feels late. That feeling has a strange structure. You are not comparing one whole life with another. You are comparing your unedited Tuesday with 3 different people's announcement days. And once you see how that comparison is built, you can start separating a real deadline from a timetable you may have borrowed. Start with what became visible. You saw the engagement, not the uncertain years before it. You saw the promotion, not the quiet work or the rejections. You saw the front door, not the compromises behind it. That does not mean those people are lying. It means a feed is an editable, selected slice, and milestones are easy to post. Your own life arrives as continuous footage, laundry, waiting, half-finished plans, and days when nothing becomes an announcement. Other lives often reach you as trailers. The moments are real. The sample is incomplete. Milestones have a clean shape, a ring, a new title, a set of keys. Long processes contain stalled weeks, changing plans, and progress that does not photograph well. So the public moment can occupy far more space in your attention than the process that produced it. This is selective visibility, not necessarily deception. Research on social media self-presentation describes platforms where people can select and refine what they show. Those tools can make positive moments easier to present. They do not make every post fake, but they can create an uneven comparison. You have access to your own outtakes, delays, doubts, and Monday mornings. For the other person, you may have only the polished frame. It is like judging 2 films when one comes with all the deleted scenes and the other comes with a poster. Then comes the second part. Who becomes your measuring stick? A billionaire may feel distant. A former classmate with your age or kind of job can feel uncomfortably relevant. Similarity can turn their milestone into evidence about where you think you should be. In 4 studies, researchers examined comparisons people made while browsing social feeds and in controlled settings. More frequent and more extreme upward comparisons were linked to immediate drops in self-evaluation and mood during those browsing sessions. The word immediate matters. This does not prove that one scroll permanently harms everyone. It does not diagnose anything. Comparison is not automatically bad. A critical review describes negative, positive, conditional, and person-specific effects. A promotion might sting, but also reveal a job you did not know existed. The problem is not simply looking up. The problem is letting one visible outcome become a complete verdict on your own life. The feed did not invent the feeling of being late. It plugged into something older. A social timetable. Families and social groups can form rough expectations about when adult transitions should happen, when to settle down, when to become established. These expectations can feel like a clock even when nobody says the rule aloud. But there is no single global clock. Expectations can differ by group and by the transition in question. In one study of adults in Chicago, people did perceive age deadlines for family transitions, yet the deadlines varied, and late timing was generally seen as acceptable. The researchers described them as flexible guidelines, not rigid laws. That distinction matters. A guideline can coordinate expectations, but once invisible, it can feel like a fact of nature. Then, people around me often do this turns into a person like me should have done this already. The clock becomes strongest when you forget who built it. Now for the part that comforting advice often skips. Some time limits are real. Fertility can matter. Visas expire. Debt changes the cost of waiting. Care responsibilities can close options. Health, education, and work opportunities can have genuine windows. Saying everyone has their own timeline does not remove any of that. But a real constraint is specific. It belongs to a particular part of life. It has a condition, a cost, or a consequence you can name. A borrowed timetable is often much blurrier. It sounds like, by now, everyone else, or I should be further ahead, without saying ahead in what, by whose standard, or what will actually happen if you are not. The feeling can contain both, a real deadline whose weight is amplified by an incomplete comparison. You can also be doing well in one area while feeling stuck in another. Longitudinal research on young people entering adulthood found that life satisfaction was better understood across distinct areas such as achievement, family, and leisure, rather than only as one global score. That does not mean those areas move at measurable speeds. It means one judgment does not have to swallow the whole life. So imagine taking the sentence, "I am behind in life," and pulling it apart. Is this about work, money, family, health, friendship, rest? A decision with a real closing window? Then ask a harder question. What exactly am I afraid will happen if this does not happen soon? If the answer is concrete, there may be a real constraint that deserves attention. If the answer is mostly "people like me should have done it by now," you may be hearing a borrowed timetable. This is not proof that you are on time. It is not a slogan pretending deadlines do not exist. It is a way to replace one enormous, shapeless verdict with a smaller and more honest question. Because your friend's new home cannot tell you the state of your relationships, a promotion cannot measure your health, an engagement cannot summarize your work, your rest, your finances, or what it took to reach today. 3 announcement days stacked together can make an ordinary Tuesday look empty. But your life was never supposed to look like 3 other people's highlight moments playing at once. Half a minute after you opened the phone, the facts of your Tuesday were still the same. What changed was the frame.